Most people over 60 don't realize that one of the biggest threats to their muscle health starts within the first hour of waking up. It's not the heavy lifting you didn't do yesterday, or the supplements you forgot to take. It's the breakfast you skipped, or worse, the one you didn't think twice about. And I want to be really clear about this. If you're waking up and not getting high-quality protein into your system early, you are silently contributing to the loss of muscle tissue every single day. Let me explain why. When we sleep, our bodies go through a natural fasting process. We aren't eating, obviously, but more importantly, our body is still burning energy, drawing on glucose and amino acids to repair, regulate, and function. By the time you wake up, you're already in a catabolic state, which means your body is breaking down tissue, including muscle, for energy. And if you delay your protein intake, you're essentially prolonging that catabolic state. You're allowing muscle breakdown to continue without giving your body the raw materials it needs to flip the switch into muscle repair and rebuilding. Protein is the only macronutrient that supplies the amino acids necessary for muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to build and repair muscle fibers. And here's the critical part: the body is most sensitive to protein right after waking. This is when your system is primed to absorb and use those amino acids to repair overnight damage, restore strength, and even grow new muscle tissue. If you skip breakfast or grab something heavy, like toast or a banana, you miss this window. You might get some energy, but your muscles are left starving, and the consequences are real. Sarcopenia. The gradual loss of muscle mass with age isn't just about aging. It's about inaction and missed opportunities. One of the most powerful opportunities you have every single day is that first meal. Yet too many people over 60 are still treating breakfast like it's optional or focusing only on calories rather than quality. What we should be focusing on is hitting a sufficient threshold of leucine, rich protein 20 to 40 grams of high-quality protein within 1 to 2 hours of waking. That's your baseline if you want to maintain and ideally grow muscle as you age. You may have noticed, too, that energy levels in the morning can feel lower than they used to be. That grogginess isn't just about age or sleep. It's often about nutrient signaling. When you eat protein early, especially alongside some healthy fats and maybe a bit of slowed, digesting carbohydrates, you send the signal to your brain and body that it's time to perform. That surge of amino acids triggers neurotransmitter production, dopamine, norepinephrine, and acetylcholine, all of which contribute to better focus, energy, and motivation. So it's not just a muscle issue, it's a brain issue, a mood issue, and ultimately a quality of life issue. Now, I understand that appetite can be lower in the morning, especially as we get older, but that doesn't mean your body doesn't need the fuel. In fact, it may mean you need to be even more deliberate. That might mean blending a protein shake, having a few eggs, some Greek yogurt, or even something as simple as cottage cheese with a handful of nuts. The form isn't as important as the function. You just need to get that high-quality protein in early and consistently. If you're over 60 and you're losing strength or finding it harder to recover, look at your breakfast. If it's non-existent or lacking protein, that could be the silent cause. This one habit, just 20 to 30 grams of protein within an hour of waking, can completely change how your body handles aging. It's not complicated, but it is crucial. Muscle isn't maintained by chance. It's maintained by choice. Don't let your first hour become your first mistake. If you're over 60, one of the most powerful but most overlooked tools for preserving muscle isn't found in a supplement bottle or at the gym. It's found in your morning routine. And no, I'm not talking about a 60-minute workout or some complicated strength training protocol. I'm talking about simple, intentional movement right after waking up. Because when you wake up and go straight into sitting, whether it's at the breakfast table, on the couch, or in the car, you're missing a critical opportunity to engage your neuromuscular system and prime your body for the entire day. Here's the science behind it. When we sleep, our nervous system naturally slows down, muscle tone decreases, and our connection to movement essentially goes idle. Now imagine waking up and doing nothing to re-engage that system. You're leaving your brain in a fog, and more importantly, you're letting your muscles stay in that off mode for far too long. This matters because as we age, the communication between the brain and body becomes less efficient. The only way to keep that connection sharp is to use it daily and especially early in the day. One of the key ways to strengthen that brain-to-muscle link is through what's called neuromuscular activation. That simply means getting your muscles and nervous system firing together in a coordinated way. You don't need a gym for that. You don't need equipment. What you need is movement, intentional, consistent movement, within the first 30 to 60 minutes of waking. That could mean going for a brisk walk outside, doing a few rounds of bodyweight squats, stretching your arms overhead, or even engaging in dynamic mobility work for just 5-10 minutes. The goal isn't intensity, it's activation. When you move early in the day, especially upright and against gravity, you stimulate the motor cortex in the brain, the area responsible for initiating voluntary movement. That stimulation wakes up your entire system, elevates your alertness, and improves the strength of your muscle contractions later in the day. And here's the surprising part: even short bursts of morning movement can have carryover effects that last for hours. That means your body stays more coordinated, more balanced, and more responsive, even if you're not doing a full workout later on. This matters more than people think, because if you're not activating those muscles regularly, you're not just losing strength, you're losing precision. And precision is what keeps you balanced. It's what keeps you from falling. It's what helps you catch yourself when you trip or step off a curb. This type of functional strength starts with morning movement. It's not just about aesthetics. It's not even about fitness, really. It's about control. It's about keeping your independence. There's also a huge hormonal benefit to this. Early movement, especially outdoors, stimulates the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine. These chemicals don't just help you feel better, they literally increase drive, focus, and motivation. That means if you move first, you're more likely to make better choices throughout the rest of your day, including eating, exercising, and staying engaged. It's a positive cascade of momentum that starts with the simple decision to stand up and move your body. And for those who feel stiff in the mornings, I get it. That stiffness is often a signal that your joints and muscles need lubrication, synovial fluid that only gets released when you move. So that first stretch, that first walk, even a few shoulder rolls or ankle circles, these aren't minor things, they are chemical triggers. They are switches that tell your body, we're ready. So many people over 60 say they want to preserve their muscles. They want to stay strong, but then they start their day frozen, mentally and physically. You cannot wait for your body to feel ready. You move and then readiness follows. Don't underestimate the power of that first 5 to 10 minutes. It's not just about starting your day right. It's about preserving your body for the long run. Your muscles are listening the moment you wake up. The question is, are you sending the right signal? When you're over 60, your metabolism changes, your insulin sensitivity shifts, and your body's tolerance for certain foods becomes a lot lower than it used to be. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make in the morning is starting their day with sugar. Whether it's from cereal, pastries, fruit juice, or even so-called healthy granola bars. It may seem harmless or even comforting, but what it's really doing is setting off a chain reaction in your body that leads to fatigue, inflammation, and most importantly, muscle breakdown. Here's what happens. The moment you eat a high-sugar breakfast, your blood glucose spikes. Your body responds by flooding your system with insulin to try and bring those levels down. But when this happens repeatedly, especially without protein or fiber to balance it, you start to develop insulin resistance. That means your body becomes less efficient at getting glucose into your cells, including muscle cells. And when that happens, you're not just storing fat more easily, you're also impairing your ability to build or even maintain muscle. Muscle is incredibly insulin-sensitive tissue. It depends on efficient glucose and amino acid delivery to stay active and repair itself. When you start your day with sugar, you throw that system off balance. Your muscles receive less fuel, less stimulation, and less support. Instead of building, your body shifts towards storing, especially storing fat. This is a metabolic shift that compounds over time, especially after 60, when hormonal changes make the body less forgiving of dietary errors. What's worse is how this kind of breakfast makes you feel. That quick burst of energy you get from sugar, it's followed by a crash low energy, brain fog, and a lack of motivation to move. And if you're not moving, you're not using your muscles. That sedentary behavior, paired with nutrient imbalance, becomes the perfect recipe for gradual muscle loss. The problem isn't just the food, it's the biological state that food puts you in for the rest of the day. There's also an inflammatory response that comes with it. High sugar intake increases levels of pro-inflammatory cytokines, which over time degrade muscle tissue and interfere with recovery. If you're trying to maintain your strength, heal from minor injuries, or bounce back from workouts, that inflammation is a silent killer, and it often starts with something as simple as the wrong kind of breakfast. Now, this doesn't mean you can never enjoy food, but it does mean being strategic. Replace that sugary breakfast with something high in protein, moderate in healthy fats, and low in simple carbs. You'll stabilize your blood sugar, protect your muscles, and increase your energy throughout the day. Your metabolism will stay sharper, and your motivation to stay active will rise with it. How you fuel yourself in the first hour of your day matters more than most people realize. It either protects your muscles or sabotages them. Choose wisely. Your body is responding whether you're paying attention or not. There's something incredibly powerful you can do for your muscles each morning, and it doesn't involve food or movement. It involves light specifically, getting natural sunlight into your eyes within the first 30 to 60 minutes after waking. And I'm not talking about going outside for an hour-long hike. Even just stepping outside for a few minutes and exposing your eyes, not through a window, but actual outdoor light, can trigger a cascade of biological processes that directly protect and support your muscle health. Here's why it matters. Your body runs on an internal clock called the circadian rhythm, and one of the strongest signals that sets that clock is morning sunlight. When light hits specific cells in your eyes, it sends a message to your brain's master clock, letting it know that it's time to start the day. This cue resets hormone production, elevating cortisol at the right time, suppressing melatonin, and setting the stage for healthy spikes in testosterone and growth hormone later in the day. These hormones are critical for maintaining muscle mass, especially as we age. Testosterone and growth hormone aren't just about energy or mood. They're directly involved in muscle protein synthesis and recovery. If you delay sunlight exposure or skip it entirely, you delay these hormone signals. That means your body misses the opportunity to optimize muscle repair and growth when it's most ready to receive those cues. It's also important to understand that light is a stimulant, but it's a natural, healthy one. Morning light enhances alertness, improves focus, and actually increases the likelihood that you'll move. Think about how powerful that is. Just by getting sunlight early in the day, you're not only boosting your hormonal environment for muscle health, you're also increasing your mental drive to engage those muscles later on. And it's not just about today. This habit builds momentum. The more consistent you are with morning sunlight, the more aligned your body becomes with its natural rhythms. That means better sleep at night, which means more efficient muscle recovery. It's a cycle, and it all starts with that first exposure to light. This is one of the simplest yet most underused tools for muscle maintenance, especially in people over 60. Step outside in the morning. Let your eyes take in the light. It's free, it's fast, and it sets the tone for your body to thrive. Don't underestimate what that small moment of sunlight can unlock. One of the most overlooked but critical parts of maintaining muscle after 60 is something almost everyone forgets the moment they wake up: hydration. It sounds basic, but the science behind it is anything but. After a full night of sleep, your body wakes up dehydrated. You've gone 7 to 9 hours without fluid, and during that time, you've been breathing out moisture and losing water through your skin. By morning, your cells, especially your muscle cells, are operating below optimal capacity. Muscles are made up of nearly 75% water. That's not just an interesting fact, it's a vital reality. Water is essential for every function that muscles perform. It helps transport nutrients into the cells, removes waste, enables contraction, and regulates temperature. Without enough water, muscle fibers lose their elasticity, their strength, and their ability to recover properly. If you're trying to hold on to muscle as you age and you're not drinking water first thing in the morning, you're making the process harder on yourself than it needs to be. Even mild dehydration can lead to a drop in physical performance, increased risk of cramping, slower recovery, and even fatigue that prevents you from being active in the first place. And it doesn't take a lot to get dehydrated. Just 1 or 2% of body water loss is enough to cause noticeable effects. That grogginess, that sluggish feeling, that stiffness you think is just aging, it might actually be your body's way of telling you it's thirsty. Hydration also plays a key role in metabolism. When your body is properly hydrated, it can more efficiently metabolize fat and carbohydrates for energy. That means you feel better, move more easily, and maintain better muscle tone. It also improves blood circulation, which means better oxygen and nutrient delivery to your muscles. That's especially important after 60, when circulation naturally starts to slow down and muscle repair becomes more of a challenge. So, when you wake up, before the coffee, before the breakfast, reach for water. Not just a sip, aim for a full glass, maybe 2. You can even add a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon to help with electrolyte balance. Make it a ritual, just like brushing your teeth. Because in that moment, you're not just quenching thirst, you're giving your muscles the environment they need to stay strong, responsive, and alive. Your body can go weeks without food, but only days without water. Treat hydration like the foundation it is. There's one more silent mistake that many people over 60 make in the morning, and it's not physical. It's mental. It's starting the day without intention, without direction, without mentally priming the brain for action. That might sound abstract, but the effects are incredibly real. When you wake up and go straight into distraction, checking your phone, reading the news, reacting to everything around you, you're giving your brain no opportunity to set its own tone. And the brain, just like the body, needs a warm-up. Mental priming first thing in the morning has a direct impact on physical behavior, especially your drive to move, your motivation to stay consistent, and your ability to follow through with healthy choices. When you don't take even a few moments to center your mind, your entire day can default into passive habits. And for someone trying to maintain muscle, that's a dangerous path, because muscle preservation isn't just physical, it's behavioral. It requires deliberate effort, which starts with deliberate thought. One of the simplest tools is breath work. Just taking a minute or two to slow your breathing, become aware of your body, and calm your nervous system has an immediate effect on your mental clarity. From there, visualization can be incredibly effective. Picture yourself moving confidently through the day, lifting, walking, stretching, eating well. That mental rehearsal primes your brain's motor circuits, making it more likely that you'll follow through with real action. This isn't just theory, it's how the brain prepares for performance. Even repeating a simple phrase, something like "today I move with strength," or "my body responds to effort," can help wire your mind into a state of purpose. These small moments act like switches. They wake up the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for decision making and long-term planning, and they help override the part of your brain that just wants to conserve energy and stay still. This is especially important as we age because dopamine levels tend to decline, and with them, our natural motivation. Mental priming helps restore that drive. It builds internal momentum. It tells your brain, I'm in control today, instead of letting the day control you. It doesn't have to be long or complicated, but it does have to be consistent. You can't leave your motivation to chance. Just like your muscles, your mind needs training. Start each day by setting your intention, and your body will follow. If you're over 60, every morning presents a powerful opportunity and a quiet risk. The small decisions you make in those first waking hours either build your body up or break it down. Skipping protein, avoiding movement, reaching for sugar, ignoring sunlight, forgetting to hydrate, and starting the day without mental clarity. These aren't just habits, they're signals. Signals that shape your energy, your metabolism, your hormones, and ultimately the strength and function of your muscles. But the good news is, it's never too late to reverse the damage. Each morning is a reset button. You don't need extreme changes or hours in the gym. You need consistent intention. Fuel your body with the right nutrients, move with purpose, get outside, hydrate, and train your mind to stay sharp and focused. These small shifts compound into something extraordinary over time. Your muscles are still listening, your body still responds, and the first hour of your day is your greatest weapon. Don't waste it.